Welcome back to the Warrior Sports Network. I'm Brady Beedon, and this week for the locker room report presented by Henry Ford Health, a very special one. We're joined by Coach Ahmed Saleh. Coach, thank you so much for jumping in and doing this. Glad to have you here. Let's, as I do with Coach Wheatley every week, let's first look back at Quincy. That's a game that you guys were battling in. You scored a touchdown. I believe it was start of the fourth quarter that made you go, "Ooh, okay, we've got this," and then it just felt like gas ran out of the tank, air went out of the balloon. What did you see from your perspective watching that game?
Obviously it's a tough loss. It definitely stings. But looking back at the tape, there's a lot of things that we could build on. And I think we got a glimpse of like some good things when we're on. We're on. Like we showed signs that we can make plays when we want to make plays. It's a matter of consistency and execution. The other cool thing is that, a lot of younger guys got opportunities as well. So, it was cool to see some of our freshmen get in there, make some plays as well. So, it showed that some signs are bright. I think we did a heck of a job recruiting the offseason, starting to show with the guys getting rotation. Now, as far as the game collectively, it's a matter of being assignment sound, being consistent in what we're doing. I feel like the first quarter, defensively, we did a pretty darn good job. Offensively, we're constantly breaking down chunks. We just got to finish the drive. And for the defense, we got to be able to finish in the second half.
So this is kind of a benchmark point. You have the 4 non-conference behind you. Now you're looking forward to GLIAC play. What was the biggest takeaway in this first chapter of the season? You mentioned you had some ups, you had a couple more downs. What did you take away from the first 4 games from the season from your perspective, whether it's just the linebackers or the team as a whole?
Showing potential that we can do it. We can make plays when we're in position, when everybody's clicking on all cylinders. Same thing I was just talking about. It's just a matter of consistency in terms of execution, getting lined up and playing at our level. So if you look back to that Finley game, for example, there were a lot of similarities and carry over into the next game, right? And, you can start seeing the offense come to life a bit. It's just a matter of finishing those drives and just building on the good that we're doing to the point where it becomes consistent. I always like to say that there's 2 types of people in the world, right? There's those who believe and those who have faith. Those who believe need to see it happen before it can happen. Those who have faith, they know it can happen before it happens. So it's a matter of just wiring guys to just be faithful about everything that we're doing, because we've also shown signs, like defensively, fit in the run, dominating the run game. At one point we were top 15 in the country in run defense. And the offense, once it gets hot, it gets hot. Like if you look at that lacrosse game, a little bit of a slow start, but once we got things rolling, we proved that we can do it. So it's a matter of understanding what we're capable of and being consistent and being assignment sound and finishing drives, especially in the fourth quarter once the fatigue hits.
Here with linebacker coach, special team coordinator Ahmed Saleh, ahead of the matchup against Michigan Tech. And you mentioned a key component in this one, stopping the run. Now, I think you guys have done a really nice job of that. We've talked about it with Coach Wheatley. The D-line, the linebackers have done a really nice job fitting that. But this Michigan Tech team, they play big boy, old school, smash mouth football. You're very familiar with everyone up at Tech. You know that they kind of play the same style they've played for a long, long time. Tell us about this Husky squad that's had a pretty nice start to their season.
I absolutely respect the heck out of their coaches. I've known of Coach Medlike for a long time, just watching him from the outside. It's exactly like what you just said. The first thing that pops off the tape is culture, tradition, personality. Scheme-wise, seeing the way that they've evolved over the years, and here's where I think they do a phenomenal job as a coaching staff and their players as well, comprehending what they're being told to do. You'll see like a lot of gimmicks, shifts, pre-snap movement, also the way at which they get into the run. So you could see that they have like a core run play, but several plays that are add-on to that will really challenge like the cerebral aspect of playing defense, like opponent interpretation, comprehension. They are going to test every single player on this defense to see if they are going to get into their fit. Are these guys going to do their job? Are we going to be assignment sound? They can run the ball one way, but there's always an option coming another way. And now looking at it, they got a dual threat quarterback as well. You pair that up with a guy like Coach Medlak. We definitely got our work cut out for us. But, knowing the quality of our staff, there's no doubt in my mind we're going to have a heck of a game plan going into it. It's just a matter of doing it consistently and effectively.
I think the one other word I'd throw in there is discipline.
Absolutely.
When you play Michigan Tech, You can't take dumb penalties. And it kind of goes back to fit in the run. You talked about all the eye candy you'll see. If you get one wrong fit, boom, out the gate. How important is it to stay disciplined, not take any, whether it's pre-snap or emotional penalties in this game? It's homecoming. It's going to be a big atmosphere. How important is that aspect to getting the win?
It's the whole foundation of everything. It all starts there. It all starts in the mind, opponent interpretation, X and O's. I mean, you could be flying 100 miles an hour, but if you're making a mistake at 100 miles an hour, that's just a vacated gap. And like I said, I think they do a really good job of getting guys out of their fits with all the different varieties of ways that they try attacking the opponent. And same thing defensively too. Just looking at every unit that they run. You'll see guys line up a certain way, then end up finishing the play like on the way opposite side, like, whoa, what happened here? And then you look back at it and say, oh, okay, now we can see what they're doing. So they're trying to disrupt our blocking scheme offensively. And then, defensively, like I said, it's a lot of pre-snap movement. And then post-snap, you might have a lineman pulling one way, quarterback makes a decision and goes the other. So, I mean, we got to play together, fit together, and eye discipline's got to be everything. So it's the core of everything that we do this game.
Coach, I appreciate you filling in here, and hopefully we're celebrating a Wayne State victory at about 4 o'clock.
Hopefully, man. Just have faith.
Sounds like a plan, Coach. He's Ahmed Saleh. I'm Brady Beedon, and you're listening to the Warriors Sports Network.